All right, now you sons of bitches, you know how I feel.
What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video, and this video is going to be my recap slash reaction of the Xbox E3 presentation that just happened. And to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. Was it terrible? Fuck no. By no means was it a terrible presentation. That would have been Ubisoft's yesterday, which is basically ear and eye cancer. But this event also wasn't exciting to me. Maybe it was exciting to you, because this is entirely subjective, but it was not exciting to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly recap everything that was shown at the event, and then I'll explain to you why, for me, it wasn't that exciting. The first thing right off the bat they showed, and a game I'm actually looking forward to, even though I haven't seen anything from it, is Starfield. And again, we don't really know much about the game. I was really hoping to see some type of gameplay. Instead, what we got was this alpha in-game footage, which it looks good. It's their new creation engine, which is fucking... Thank God they have a new engine, because that engine they were making Fallout and Skyrim in is fucking old as shit. So they have a new engine, Creation 2, and visually from what we saw, it does look good. I'm still hoping to see gameplay of the game because I want to know what exactly is this game. I'm assuming, based on what they've been making for the last 25 years, that it's going to be basically the Elder Scrolls or Fallout, which are very much the same game, but set in space, which I'm 100% down for. I really like Fallout. I really like the Elder Scrolls. The big takeaway here, though, is that Starfield is indeed Xbox and Game Pass exclusive. So that was the first game they showed, and again, I wish there was gameplay. I really can't get that excited for a game I know absolutely nothing about, but again, if it's anything like Elder Scrolls or Fallout, I know it's going to be a game that I personally will like. So Starfield, still don't know anything about it, but we do know that it is exclusive to Xbox and Game Pass, and that it will be coming out November 11th, 2022. At least that's the date given. Will that shift? Who the fuck knows? We've seen a lot of games that were supposed to come out this year shift to next year, so whether or not that November 11th, end of 2022 date is going to stick or it's going to push into 2023, we don't know, but as of right now, it is coming out end of 2022, exclusive to Xbox and Game Pass. Next game up is Stalker 2, which gives me big-time Metro Exodus vibes in the way that it's kind of shown. Graphically, it does look like a good-looking game. It is a multi-plat, and I just couldn't get that excited for it because 90% of what we were shown are these dudes sitting around a campfire. Like, I don't understand why they decided to make the trailer 90% dudes around a campfire. I would have much rather have seen a trailer that was half as long and was just of the actual game being played versus these dudes sitting around a campfire and then little snippets of gameplay. From the snippets, it looks like it's going to be a cool game. Again, like I said, it got Metro Exodus vibes, which I really like Metro, the Metro series and Exodus. So it looks like it's going to be a cool game, but again, this is a multi-platform game. However, it is a timed exclusive for Xbox, and it will be in Game Pass day and date. That's going to be one of the biggest takeaways from this event, is that there are going to be a lot of games, even multiplats, that are going to be day and date in Game Pass. Even multiplats that aren't timed exclusive, that are still going to be day and date in Game Pass. That is going to be the absolute biggest takeaway from this event, because they didn't really show that many amazing exclusive games, but they showed a fuck ton of games, multiplat or otherwise, that will be in Game Pass day and date. At which point, the big selling point for Game Pass becomes, do you want to pay $60 to $70 for those games each over there, or would you rather come here and get them all for $15 a month? Again, that's going to be the big takeaway from this event, and the big selling point, right, for Xbox, is you can play those games over there, but it's $60 to $70 a pop, or come pay $15 a month for Game Pass here, and you can still get access to those games. But anyway, let's move on to the next game. The next game shown is Back 4 Blood, which is basically the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, which has been gone for a long-ass time. So Back 4 Blood is a welcomed return to that style of game from the people who created, Left 4 Dead. It is a multiplat, but like before, it will be in Game Pass day and date. So again, do you want to pay $60 over there, or do you want to get it for, as part of your $15 a month subscription? So next game was Back 4 Blood, day and date, and Game Pass. The next game is the first to be a pre-rendered CGI teaser and or trailer. And both CGI trailers and in-engine trailers are two things that are going to be a little more prevalent in this event than I would have liked, because CGI trailers don't tell us anything about the game really, and in-engine trailers also don't really tell the whole story about what a game is going to look and or play like. A lot of people hear in-engine and they think, oh, that's the game. Not necessarily, and I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. But this one is the first one to be shown that's a CGI pre-rendered trailer. It's for a game called Contraband. It is a timed exclusive for Xbox, and it will be day and date in Game Pass. Moving on. Next is, when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? It is free DLC coming to Sea of Thieves, and it is basically fucking Pirates of the Caribbean, right? You got Captain Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones, and hey, if Sea of Thieves is your jam, you're getting some new shit for it for free. But Sea of Thieves just was never my thing, and I really would have much rather have seen Rare show us something of Everwild than more bullshit for Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is a game that never really excited me. It's not a game I personally care about. So I was hoping that we would see some of Everwild. There is no Everwild in this event. Just some Pirates of the Caribbean DLC for Sea of Thieves, which I will admit is smart. It's a very clever tie-in to a known property. I almost think that Sea of Thieves probably would have been a lot more popular had they have gotten the Pirates of the Caribbean license for the game to begin with. Had Sea of Thieves not been Sea of Thieves and instead been a Pirates of the Caribbean game, again, I wouldn't have gave a shit, but I think it probably would have sold better, and it probably would have been exciting to more people. But anyway, some free Pirates of the Caribbean DLC coming to Sea of Thieves. Now, if you're a big Yakuza fan, the next thing probably got you hyped as fuck. The entire mainline Yakuza saga, including Like a Dragon, out in Game Pass, available now. So if Yakuza is your jam, it's all there. It's all there in Game Pass for you to enjoy. Now, with this next game is where we're getting to the small conversation about in-engine trailers, because the next thing we see is gameplay for Battlefield 2042. And I can tell you right away that it looks nothing like the in-engine trailer that we saw for Battlefield 2042 just the other day. And for people that don't understand the difference between in-engine and in-game, in-engine just means that what you saw was built using the engine that the game is made with. And why that doesn't matter is, look at Unreal Engine 4. Lots of games are made with Unreal Engine 4. You know what else is made with Unreal Engine 4? All of the digital sets on the fucking Mandalorian. Now, there isn't a game that exists right now built in Unreal Engine 4 that looks as good as those digital sets in The Mandalorian. Those digital sets look fucking real. And the reason for that is they're just using the engine to create the geometry and the environments. It doesn't have to do anything else. It doesn't have to do AI. It doesn't have to do physics simulations. It doesn't have to do liquid simulations. It doesn't have to do particle effects. It doesn't have to do any of that shit. It just needs to make the static sets. And at the most, do ray tracing for lighting. That's it, and it happens all statically. When you see in-engine trailers, all that means is they made the trailer using the engine that the game is made with. But there's a lot more overhead when you have something that is in-engine versus something that's in-game. Because again, they don't have to do any of that shit in real time. It's all done. We're going to do just this scene in-engine, and then we're going to do just this scene in-engine, and then just this scene in-engine. Right? But when it comes time to do it in-game, now all that overhead you had is gone, because now it has to do everything in real time. And not just this little scene looking over here, but everything. So this Battlefield 2042 gameplay looks nothing like the in-engine trailer that we saw the other day. But it still does look like fun, but it is a multiplat in the truest sense of the term, because it is neither timed exclusive to Xbox, nor will it be day and date in Game Pass. So whether you game on PlayStation or Xbox or PC, it will be full price, and it comes out October 22nd, 2021, so at least it comes out this year. Next up is another timed exclusive. It's called 12 Minutes. I don't really know much about it because they didn't show us much about it. All I know is that it has a lot of big name actors for the voice actors. Actors like Daisy Ridley, James McAvoy, Willem Dafoe. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about the game because all we got was this really short trailer where it's basically just a camera looking down from the ceiling. I have no idea if that's what the game looks like or if that's just for the trailer, but all I can tell you is that it comes out on August 19th, 2021, timed exclusive for Xbox, and you guessed it, day and date and Game Pass. Next is an Xbox exclusive from now Xbox Studio Double Fine. It is Psychonauts 2, and it comes out on August 25th, 2021. Again, day and date and Game Pass. I never played Psychonauts 1, so I don't know anything really about it, but for me, looking at Psychonauts 2, it doesn't really look like anything I'd be that interested in. But I know Psychonauts has a pretty decent following, and if it's your thing, Psychonauts 2 will be available exclusively to Xbox and day and date in Game Pass on August 25th, 2021. The next thing wasn't so much a game announcement as much as an announcement that there are now going to be 30 Bethesda titles now playable again in Game Pass, really leveraging what they're getting out of that ZeniMax acquisition. So now there are 30, including all the Dooms from Doom to Doom Eternal, both Dishonored games, all the Elder Scrolls from Morrowind up to Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls Online, all the Fallouts from Fallout all the way up to Fallout 76. I mean, there's a lot of games that are now going to be in Game Pass that are, I would say, really good games from the ZeniMax acquisition. So that was the next thing that we got shown. They also announced that for people playing on Series X, Doom Eternal is getting a free update that's going to make it 4K 60 with ray tracing, and I believe they said even support up to 120, so that's cool as well. They then showed some DLC for Fallout 76 called Fallout 76 Steel Rain. It's going to be out July 7th and is free for anybody who has Fallout 76. Then they showed another thing for Fallout 76 called Fallout 76 Expeditions: The Pit, available on Game Pass sometime in 2022. Then they talked about the Elder Scrolls Online, which this Tuesday is getting optimized for Series S and X for a, quote, native experience. I'm not entirely sure what native means. They didn't really give resolutions or frame rates. He just said a native experience, but I'm assuming that means 4K 60 at least, or maybe 4K 30 at least. But again, if you're playing on Series S and or X, you're getting a free update to that native experience, which I'm assuming is going to make it the best place to play that game. Next up is another timed exclusive for Xbox, and it's called it's called Party Animals. I could not be any less excited for this fucking thing. It looks something like Fall Guys. It's one of these like really kiddie games. It's just not my thing. But hey, it is timed exclusive to Xbox, and will be, you guessed it, day and date in Game Pass sometime in 2022. No release date for this game. I'm sure you guys are dying for that release date, but unfortunately, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. It's 2022 if you're excited to play Party Animals. Next up is Hades. This one confused me just a tiny bit. I know that it's coming out August 13th on both PlayStation and Xbox. It is multi-platform, coming over from PC, obviously. And it says Game Pass at the end of the trailer, but unlike everything else, it doesn't say Game Pass Day 1. So I'm assuming that Hades will be available on Xbox August 13th, but be going into Game Pass at a later date. That's kind of my takeaway from it, but they didn't really let us know. But I'm assuming that that's what that means. Anyway, moving on. Next up is another timed exclusive for Xbox. It's called Somerville. We don't have a release date for it, but it will be available in 2022 at some point. And of course, it will be day and date in Game Pass. The next one was kind of disappointing for me because after the shit show that was the Halo Infinite gameplay reveal, hearing that Halo Infinite was going to be present at this event, I was assuming, okay, they've delayed the game from 2020 to 2021, holiday 2021. So we're finally going to see what they've been doing. We're going to see what type of corrections they've made to the original gameplay trailer that we saw, right? We're going to see how they've fixed Halo Infinite because of how bad the last outing was. Well, unfortunately, we didn't see any of Halo Infinite's campaign. We got this kind of short trailer of Master Chief talking to Cortana and a little bit of him like jumping from space debris to space debris. But we didn't really have anything that was like, boom, here's what Halo Infinite's going to look like now. We heard everything you saw. We delayed the game. We fixed it. Here's what it looks like now. We didn't get that, and that's kind of what I was hoping to see. Even worse, what they did show us is captured in-engine, not in-game, and doesn't state that it was captured running off of a Series X. So for all we know, this is in-engine, which, as I explained before, doesn't really tell us the whole story, and also could be running off a PC, which God knows what the fucking specs were. So, again, kind of disappointing. I was hoping to see in-game gameplay captured on Series X, because even last time we saw it, it wasn't running on Series X, so I was hoping that when we saw it this time, we would see it running on Series X, but unfortunately, we didn't. They did show us some Halo gameplay, however, because we did get to see gameplay of the free-to-play Halo Infinite multiplayer, which does look good. It looks like fun. They have a lot of the classic maps back, right? Unfortunately, curiously, again, it doesn't say captured on Xbox Series X. So that leads me to believe that what we're seeing is, again, the game running on PC, and I just don't understand why they won't show us the game running on Series X. And it's not like they're afraid to show us games running on Series X, because there are many times that they do show us games running on Series X, and they let us know right up front, boom, captured in 4K on Series X. This just is not one of those games. So, I don't know. It's hard to know really what the game's going to look like running on Series X or Series S for that matter hardware, but at least what we saw of the Halo multiplayer looks fun. But it's Halo multiplayer. Of course it's going to be fun. But long story short, both Halo Infinite and the free-to-play Halo Infinite multiplayer will be launching holiday 2021. No specific date given, but sometime this year. And of course, day and date on Game Pass. Next is one that got me for a second. For a second, they got me because I didn't see that it said Blizzard at the bottom. And I was watching it and I was like, yo, I was like, what is this? And I was like, the graphics on this looking pretty fucking slick. I was like, what is this game? And then very quickly, I was let down to find out it's just Diablo 2 remastered. Diablo is not really my thing, so I was like, man, I was hoping that whatever the game was, it was going to look like what I saw at the beginning, but of course, that was pre-rendered CGI, because Diablo looks nothing like that. It looks like this, and I was kind of bummed out. I was hoping whatever the game was going to look like what we saw before, but hey, if Diablo is your thing, if you love Diablo, if you're a big Diablo fan, Diablo 2 is getting remastered. It is now called Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's a game we've actually known about since February. It is not Xbox exclusive. It is multi-platform, so it will be available on PlayStation as well. It also is not day and date in Game Pass. This game will be full price no matter where you play it on September 23rd, 2021. Next was a trailer for Far Cry 6. Again, probably one of the bigger multi-platform games in this event, like Battlefield 2042. And just like Battlefield 2042, it is not going to be day and date in Game Pass. It will be available October 7th, 2021 for full price, regardless of where you plan on playing it. Next up is another timed exclusive for Xbox, and another game I personally couldn't give a shit about. It is Slime Rancher 2. I never even knew there was a Slime Rancher, but this is the sequel, the highly anticipated sequel to Slime Rancher. It is Slime Rancher 2. And it is coming timed exclusively to Xbox sometime in 2022, and of course will be day and date in Game Pass on whatever that date ends up becoming. Next up is another timed Xbox exclusive. It's called Shredders, which just reminds me of Steep, the snowboarding game from Ubisoft, but just with shittier graphics. It's called Shredders, and it comes out December of this year, and of course will be day and date in Game Pass. Next up is a game I'm actually really excited for. I've known about this game for a long ass time. I've been telling people about this game. It's called Atomic Heart, and the best description for it is basically a more realistic looking BioShock that takes place like in Chernobyl. It's a cool game. It's a game that I've seen for fucking years now that I've been waiting to find out when it's coming out. It is a multi-platform game, so it will be available on all platforms. Unfortunately, we still don't have a release date for it, but when that release date does come, this will be one that is day and date in Game Pass. Next up is yet another timed exclusive for Xbox. It's called Replaced. Not really my style of game, not something that interests me, but it is going to be a timed exclusive for Xbox. It is coming out 2022, no specific date given, and of course, day and date and Game Pass. I told you you're going to hear day and date and Game Pass a lot, and this is another one that will be day and date and Game Pass. Next up is an Xbox and Game Pass exclusive from Obsidian. And before you get too excited, no, it is not Avowed. No, it is something much, much better. It is... it is the Shroom and Doom update for Grounded, coming June 30th. I, ladies and gentlemen, could not give a fuck less about this update, because I don't give a fuck about this game. But if Grounded is your thing, if you think it's awesome, or if you're looking forward to it, hey, there is an update coming on June 30th that's going to bring a whole bunch of shit I'm not even going to waste time going into, because like I said, I don't give a fuck about this game. But Grounded, the Shroom and Doom update, coming June 30th to Xbox and Game Pass. Next is a trailer to let us know that on June 15th, there will be an update for Among Us on all platforms. Don't know why this is here, but this is here, Among Us being updated on June 15th for all platforms. The next up is two multi-platform JRPGs whose names I'm not even going to bother pronouncing. They're coming out, one in 2022, one in 2023, no specific dates given, and of course, they will both be day and date in Game Pass. Then we have another timed Xbox exclusive. It is the isometric shooter called The Ascent. Isometric games like Diablo and like this really aren't my thing, but if it is your thing, The Ascent will be coming to Xbox as a timed exclusive on January 29th, and of course will be day and date in Game Pass. Next up is another Xbox Game Studio game. It is Age of Empires 4, and it will be available on October 28th. And will be day and date in Game Pass, but for whatever reason, only Game Pass for PC. So Age of Empires 4 out October 28th, and day and date in Game Pass if you're on PC. Next up, another game from Xbox Game Studios, which right away I was like, oh shit, it's Fable, let's go! And then quickly found out, no, it is not Fable, it is just a pre-rendered CGI trailer for The Outer Worlds 2. And to be honest, I could not be more fucking disappointed, because I didn't care for The Outer Worlds 1, which is weird because I really liked Fallout New Vegas, which Obsidian also made, but I just did not enjoy Outer Worlds 1, so I'm not excited for Outer Worlds 2, and also kind of feel like I got scammed because the beginning very much looked like it was going to be Fable. But no, this game was not Fable, and spoiler alert, we don't get anything Fable-related in this event, but we do get the announcement that The Outer Worlds 2 is coming. No date given, not even a year given, but we do know that whenever it comes out, it will be day and date in Game Pass. Next up, another game from Xbox Game Studios. It is a very graphically impressive game, but it is Flight Simulator. And listen, yes, it is a very good-looking game. Yes, graphically, it is an impressive game. But dude, Xbox guys, can you be honest for a second and just acknowledge that you're never going to play Flight Sim, or if you do, you're going to boot it up, go, ooh, and then turn it off and never touch it again. Can we please acknowledge that? I'm acknowledging the fact that it looks really good graphically. Can you acknowledge the fact that you're not going to play it more than 30 minutes if you play it at all? Can you please do that for me? Because any of you guys trying to act like Flight Simulator is your most anticipated game, or that you're super hyped for it, I'm sorry, I think you're full of shit. And if you're not going to be honest with me, at least be honest with yourselves. Because, like I said, it's a great-looking game, if you want to call it that. It is very graphically impressive, but Flight Simulator is not something that you're going to spend a lot of time playing. And you fucking know that. But, nevertheless, Flight Simulator will be coming to Xbox consoles on July 27th, 2021. But hold the phone! They will be getting the Top Gun Maverick DLC, which looks like it's going to include now aircraft carriers and some FA-18s, and some free DLC that will be coming sometime in the fall of this year. But again, as cool as fighter jets are, if you really want to play a game with fighter jets, you're probably better off playing Ace Combat, because this is only going to be fun for so long, right? But if simulators are your thing, if Flight Sim is your thing, it's coming this July to your console, and then you're getting that Top Gun Maverick DLC sometime this fall. And of course, day and date in Game Pass. Next up is an Xbox console exclusive from Playground Games, and I already told you there was no there was no Fable shit in this event, so that means it could be only one other thing, and yes, it is Forza Horizon 5. And I will have to say that this is probably the most graphically impressive thing in this event. Yes, Flight Sim looks great, but Flight Sim is not a game, really, in my opinion. Forza Horizon 5 is a game, and it is a very graphically impressive one at that. The environments are super detailed, super high res, right? It is a very, very good looking game. I do want to throw out there, though, for people that are like losing their minds, because I saw a lot of dudes like losing their minds online over how good Forza Horizon looks. Yes, Forza Horizon looks fucking amazing, but Forza Horizon is a racing game. Racing games always look amazing, right? And I'm not trying to take anything away from Forza Horizon, because I think Forza Horizon 5 is probably the best looking thing I've seen running on a console. That would include the Horizon Forbidden West gameplay trailer, right? I think this Forza Horizon 5 gameplay is graphically more impressive than the Horizon Forbidden West gameplay. However, one is a racing game, the other is not. So for dudes losing their mind, listen, again, not trying to take anything away from Forza Horizon 5. I mean, look at this. It is a fucking beautiful looking game. But it's a racing game, right? So taking what you see here and trying to say, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, oh my god, look how good that game looks. Fable's going to look like that. Not necessarily, and dudes that are saying that, just don't do that to yourself, right? Because there are a lot of things needed to have an open world RPG work that you don't need for an open world racing game. Lots of shit, right? So don't do that to yourself, all right? And look, again, not trying to take anything away from Forza Horizon 5. Are its graphics a showstopper? Fuck yes. The graphics on display for Forza Horizon 5 are showstopper level graphics. But does that mean that you can expect Fable to look that good? Not necessarily. And don't throw those expectations on yourself, because it very well may not be the case. Could it be? Sure. Am I expecting it to be? No, because I understand that there are a lot of things needed for an open world RPG to work that are not needed for an open world racing game to work. That's why racing games are always used to show off the graphical prowess of hardware, because racing games are very easy to make look good because they don't need all of the other shit that other games need. But again, like I said, I don't want to take anything away from it. Forza Horizon 5 looks absolutely fucking stunning. It is a gorgeous looking game, and I think that Need for Speed needs to fucking be put on notice, because this, not even just graphically, gameplay-wise, Forza Horizon 5 shits all over Need for Speed. And graphically, Need for Speed ain't touching this. At least not anytime soon. So fucking Need for Speed, EA, bro, Xbox and Forza Horizon putting your ass on fucking notice. You better step your shit up or fucking just go home, because Forza Horizon 5 is just kicking the fuck out of you. Anyway, that was Forza Horizon 5. Unfortunately, it wasn't Fable, but hey, at least what they showed does look amazing, and it will be available on November 9th this year. And as to be expected with every Xbox Game Studios game, will be day and date on Game Pass. Xbox closed the show with one last exclusive game from the newly acquired Arcane Studio, the devs behind Dishonored and Deathloop. And it's an interesting looking game. Unfortunately, it is just a pre-rendered CGI trailer, so it's really hard to know exactly how the game's going to look or play. But it is a co-op open world shooter that will be releasing in summer 2022, exclusively on Xbox, and of course, you guessed it, day and date in Game Pass. It sucks because I really like the devs who make this game, and the premise seems really fucking interesting. I just wish it wasn't a pre-rendered CGI trailer. And that's the end of the Xbox event. Actually, sorry, I forgot. They also announced A Plague Tale 2. It is a multi-platform game, but it will be coming to Game Pass day and date sometime next year. And that is the actual end of the event. And for me, again, like I said, it's nothing that got me too excited. Was it a terrible conference? Fuck no. That would have been Ubisoft's. Ubisoft's conference was garbage. There was the most boring shit you could possibly experience. The Xbox event, by comparison, was infinitely, no pun intended, better than the Ubisoft event. But it really didn't excite me. But this is basically the best way I could probably break it down. If you are someone who doesn't game on Xbox at all, you probably saw this event and weren't that impressed with it, since many of the announced games were multiplats or games that aren't coming for years. Now, if you are someone who games on Xbox, you probably thought this was a pretty decent event. You saw lots of games that you're probably interested in, maybe aren't coming out right away, but are coming out later on, and you saw lots of games that are coming day and date to Game Pass, right? So even if you don't have a Game Pass subscription, if you game on Xbox, you probably saw this event and were like, wow, this was a really good event. Lots of these games are coming to Game Pass. Damn, maybe I should fucking get Game Pass. And if you were someone who currently is a Game Pass subscriber, you probably thought this was a fantastic conference because just fucking 90% of the shit shown is coming to Game Pass day and date, right? So I think for a lot of people, whether or not they thought this was a good conference is really going to be determinant on whether or not they game on Xbox or are Game Pass subscribers. I don't really see a lot here that would cause someone to go out and purchase an Xbox if they don't already have one. But I guess we'll have to see. I will have to say, though, that I've always argued that Game Pass is an inarguable value. You can't argue with the value of Game Pass for the sheer quantity of games that you're getting. And this event did nothing change my position on Game Pass. Like, if you have Game Pass, Xbox has made Game Pass even fucking better. If you don't have Game Pass, Xbox has made Game Pass even more enticing, right? So Xbox, they're doing their thing with Game Pass. I've said for a while now that Xbox, they don't give a fuck about the box. Their new product is Game Pass. Xbox is no longer their product. Their product is Game Pass, and they're going to do everything they can to make Game Pass as enticing to as many people as possible, and for the people that have it to keep Game Pass as, I would say, appetizing as possible, right? To keep constantly giving you shit to keep your subscription so you don't get rid of it. Now, the reason why this didn't excite me that much is because a lot of the games I saw that I would normally have been interested in were either CGI or in-engine or something like that, right? Like Starfield. I'm really interested in Starfield. I really like the idea of Starfield. If Starfield is indeed something like The Elder Scrolls or Fallout, but set in space, I'm all about that. But unfortunately, I haven't seen anything of the game, which kind of disappointed me. And there are a bunch of Xbox games that I'm interested in that I was hoping to see. I wanted to see some Hellblade 2 gameplay. I wanted to see some Avowed gameplay. I wanted to see some Fable gameplay. I wanted to see some gameplay of the campaign of Halo Infinite. So there are games that Xbox has that I'm interested in that they just didn't show me today. And it kind of sucks. And yeah, I know people are going to say, well, Supernova, those games are coming. Yes, but I have to wait. I have to wait to see more of those games. And I was hoping to not have to wait anymore, because that's been the big thing with Xbox, right? Wait, the games are coming. Wait, the games are coming. Wait, the games are coming. And yes, we saw a bunch of games during this event, and many games going to Game Pass day and date. But unfortunately, a lot of the games shown were multi-plat. Whether they're timed exclusive or otherwise, they're multi-platform. So they're not those Xbox exclusive games that I personally was looking forward to seeing. So that's why, for me, this conference was just okay. There were a lot of games I saw that do interest me, but they are available on other platforms. And I can decide whether or not I want to wait, or, you know, if I want to pay full price, or if I want to get Game Pass. I can decide that. There are options there. When it comes to the Xbox exclusive games, there is no option. It's, you want to play this game? Get an Xbox, motherfucker, right? And those were the games I was hoping to see, because I didn't get a Series X, or haven't gotten a Series X yet. Yes, I absolutely plan on getting one, but I'm looking for those games that really are going to validate my purchase. And yes, getting all these multiplats in Game Pass day and date, if I choose to get Game Pass, is a big selling point. But those aren't the types of games I'm looking for to validate my purchase. I'm looking for the Xbox exclusive games, the games that you can only play on Xbox, to validate my purchase. And I didn't get those games today. The ones that were shown that were Xbox exclusive either didn't interest me, or were pre-rendered CGI trailers, with the exception of like Forza Horizon 5. So for me, just a decent trailer, nothing amazing. Again, there are people acting like it's the greatest conference to ever happen in the existence of ever. That is not the case for me. Maybe it is for you, but for me, it was not. And that's my review and or reaction of the Xbox E3 event. That's all I got for you guys on this one. And that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. For me personally, I would give this conference about a 7 out of 10. What was it for you? Let me know, and as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next Supernova.